Hey, what is going on, guys? Edward here, back with another video. In this episode of this series, I'm going to be talking about imbalance. Okay, I'm going to be very specific here. This is basically how you can use imbalance to spot the best order block. Okay, imbalance is a very important thing, and it happens all the time in the market. What is that? What is actually imbalance? Imbalance is basically when there are too many orders in one direction. Let's say too many buys or too many sales in one direction, right? And the actual candles, they will show you where the imbalance is on the price and what you can do. Normally it's three candles. You're going to see, or you're going to spot the imbalances with three candles. Okay, and normally follow the big moves. So let's say, for example, right here we see that all these candles, you see there's nothing here. I'm seeing this weeks to the bottoms, weeks to the tops, and all of a sudden, boom, this big candle takes off. Right, look at the move and the body. Look at the body of the candle. So this is like the middle candle, right? We're going to use three candles. Candle 1, candle 2, which is this one in the middle, and candle 3. So with that, basically what we're going to do is we're going to mark from candle 1, the top of the week on candle 1, to the bottom of the week on candle 3, right here. Basically, this is space, this body right here, the candle right here, this is space in between is what's called the imbalance, right? There were too many orders in this candle at this little moment right there. There were too many buy orders. The market never pulled back, right? So basically it's skyrocket, right? When you go in lower time frames, you're going to see maybe also, it was a big move and the market never pulled back, never corrected. Okay, the markets always need to correct. Okay, because they move in waves. Every time the market pushes up, they need to correct. Pushes up, they need to correct. Okay, they move in waves. If the price is pushing up so strong for some reason, and sometimes it does something like this and continues pushing, very strong. There's a lot of imbalance right here. So it will eventually try to come back down, at least to take some of this imbalance. Maybe you can use even the Fibonacci there to go maybe to the 50 or 68.8, 61.8 on the Fibonacci, right? To then maybe, right, continue its way up. So this is basically to measure. So we can use in this case imbalance as a confluence, okay, to understand if the market will actually come back down. Okay, now, not just because you're seeing imbalance, it means the market will come back down to fill the gap. No, not necessarily. Sometimes you will see it, sometimes you won't. And for that, let me actually just go here. Yeah, for example, let's try to go here and we see this break. Market broke this structure. We had this break of a structure right there. So we're going to mark it up. We're going to mark the only imbalance that I'm seeing so far is this one. And where would my order block be? My order block would be at the bottom, which is this one right there. Okay. So one of the other things that I want to see always is liquidity. I want to see the market actually building up liquidity. Okay. If I see liquidity, right, I can simply now at this point now place my position, right, my take profit to that high. Okay, I know that I have imbalance as my confluence. I did have that nice break of a structure. I have imbalance. I have my order block at the bottom. You can go 100% of the order block. You can go 50% of the order block. That's up to you. For this example, you can use this one. And you simply wait. If you have liquidity, you have everything showing you that the market will potentially come back down, mitigate to then go up. And that's basically it, So we're using imbalance as a confluence. All right. The imbalance will tell me that probably the price will eventually come back down to fill the gap to then continue its direction to the upside. Okay. Probably. It's not, this is about probabilities. It's not 100% sure, but it is about probabilities. In this push, we see that so far we do have some gap. There was a little gap here that this candle it's already taken down almost. And we also have some imbalance here, right? A little left imbalance in there. we can maybe say that, all right, we have maybe a potential order block right here. You can use the GAN box if you want to enter at the 50% or not. That will depend. So this is our origin right here, and this is our POI. So what does the market do in this case? Let's see, just for the example. You see market now touches and go. Boom. Nice break, right? So you see what happened. The POI, this POI right here never played out. Why? Because just look at the move, right? Price pushed, and then immediately coming back down. It did not form any sort of liquidity. We did have the imbalance right there, which was taken down, but we didn't have the liquidity formation. The liquidity looks better on, in this case, at the origin right now. All this liquidity below these lows, market will sweep, mitigate, and now we'll actually go back up and now have another boss, another break of the structure right there, right? So we simply continue, all right? Now let me show you actually what happened this morning, okay, in a particular trade. You see also in this scenario that this imbalance, there was a lot of imbalance here. Let me delete this one. All right, we had imbalance here, right there. We had imbalance here. There was a little bit, but this one actually looks a lot bigger, right? Lots of imbalance right there. And this actually happened yesterday. There was a huge imbalance in that zone, right? But you see in this case, there was an order block right here. There was a POI, there was an origin, and the market never actually came back to mitigate. Just the market just simply continued pushing up, right? So you see, not just because you have imbalance, it means that it will always come back down to mitigate, right? And to touch, to actually activate the order block. It will not do it all the time, all right? Sometimes it's going to be gone. Just simply, you just move on to the next one, all right? So now this is what happened, right? And I'm going to show you what happened here because I actually had placed my order block on this one. Let me show you right quick. I'm going to go directly to the example, which was this one right here, right? Market came back down, actually mitigating my 50% and hitting the take profit, which was that high right there. That trade was actually taken today, and I'm going to show you on my VIP group right here. Let's see. This was from yesterday. This one right here. Okay. Market was actually touching already that 50%. Now, let me show you how I actually did it and why I thought that the market would actually react onto this one. All right, which is basically right here on TradingView. Now let me go. What I did was I went on H4. Okay, this is very important because this is how you can use the imbalance on your in your favor. So you see that the market was actually breaking the channel, right? It broke the channel very aggressive, one single move, and look at the huge gap. Can you see it? Can you see the actual gap? Let me delete this and this. Can you see the actual gap right here? Look at this. From this candle, candle one, candle two is in the middle, candle three is this one right here, this big push, right? This whole gap was happening, right? Had a big imbalance right there. And what I told my team was, in the morning, I sent them a picture on H4 that I was looking for something like this. You see, I don't know if you can see it there, but all right, I sent them this, and I was expecting some sort of pullback, to even retest this zone, but most importantly, to cover the gap, okay? Because right here there is no gap, there is no imbalance in this area. The only imbalance is in here. Even though the actual order block is this one, like the market could have gone even deeper, but this time I was paying attention to this one, right, on H4. So I mark it up and I went to the 5 minute. When I went to the 5 minute, right, look at this. This whole move that happened yesterday, this big ass candle, that's why I was convinced that the market would most likely react here in this one. And that's what the market did. The market, in fact, reacted in this zone. You see, I had another zone right here unmitigated, maybe this one unmitigated. I have another unmitigated zone. You see, I had a lot of zones right there that were unmitigated. But you see, I was not looking for an entry here, here, or here. No, I was convinced and I was focused on taking this position. If I would have been stopped out on this one, then all right, let it be. Then maybe it's not going to play out. I'm going to try to look for another entry. But in this case, I decided to take the risk. I spotted, of course, everything. You have also huge imbalance. Just in this candle, right? You do have that huge imbalance that was taken down today, right? We had liquidity that is very important. All of this zone is filled with liquidity, right? Market pretty much consolidated all over Asian session and London session started actually getting deeper, right? So my entry was right there. Price barely touched the 50%, and the take profit was actually there. This is a 126 risk to reward. Beautiful. And just look at how, and the price actually still pushing up, skyrocketing, right? So I hope it makes sense, guys. Basically, this is how you can use imbalance, as I did here on H4, right? I used this huge gap that was right here. I knew that the market would somehow try to get into the zone. But what I did, I went in lower time frame and I spotted coincidentally, not all the time. You see that this not may not happen all the time, but coincidentally, I spotted, in lower time frame that nice order block. That market is skyrocket on that one, so it took off from there. This is a nice demand zone in there. So just decided to take the risk on that one. Okay, scenarios like this, it will happen all the time, guys. You have to follow the imbalance. Use the imbalance in your favor. Okay, not because you're seeing imbalance, it means that necessarily the market will go there and cover the gap, cover that imbalance. Not necessarily, but most of the times, yes, you can actually make some really good trades out of that. If you were looking for an entry like that, this is your demand, right? Your entry would have been there. Stop there. Take profit just right there at that high. Those are normally the targets. Okay. You see that there was also some imbalances left, little bit of imbalance left behind there. Big imbalance here left, and they were never mitigated. Does that mean that the market can drop? Yeah, market maybe in the future. We don't know exactly when, but in the future, maybe the market can come back down and take them down. But I'm not going to be looking forever for this zone to get mitigated. I just simply move on to the next one. Just like that, on to the next one. All right. Now, in this huge push, what you're seeing is, guess what? We're seeing huge imbalances, right? Now, well, let's get prepared. Let's get prepared for tomorrow in the next couple of days. We do have a huge gap now in this area, right? There's a huge gap, huge imbalance. Now, I can use this imbalance in my favor, okay? I do know that you see in this gaps, the market will eventually try to come back down to fill some of those gaps, maybe mitigating this order block, because now we're seeing that it's leaving a nice potential zone right there, right, for us to take. So now we're going to go in lower time frame and see what we can find. Keep going deeper in lower time frames. All right. Of course, we know that this is a whole gap that will eventually, the market will come back down. Now, one thing you can do is, because you know that you have these huge gaps at the bottom, let's say you happen to spot right here, let's say a boss and a change of character, auto block, right? And now you want to go for a sale. Let's say you spotted an order block somewhere here, right? After this potential boss and I don't know, change of character here is just an example, right? You have that change of character, you have the boss right there, right? You have your order block. In this case, let's put liquidity and everything. Let's make it very attractive. Something like that, boom, and you want to go for the sale. So if you know, let's say there, you want to place your entry right there, and you want to go for the sale, you know that there's a big imbalance here. You know where your target can be now, right? Not necessarily needs to be this low right there, right? Your target can now be, below those imbalances. You can cover that whole thing, you know that the market will eventually try to cover this gap, right? So that could be your target. You can use that as an idea to where the market can go. You see, so you that this way you can use imbalance on your favor, even if it's just to look for the buys or look for the sales or to aim for target areas. You can definitely do it. Okay, it needs a lot of practice, of course. You do need a lot of practice with this. The more you practice, the more you're going to be seeing this thing all the time, and it does happen all the time. Of course, market conditions plays a very important role, right? Because markets are very nuts right now. They're acting very volatile because of everything that is going on, especially now with the banks, this issue with the banks, inflation, you're right. So there's a lot of panic. So just understand that, and you should be fine. You should actually be trading correctly with the trend. If you really want to see the couple of videos that I posted before, if you want to know more about SMC, smart money concepts, I recommend you watching the playlist that I have created here for you. It's literally a free course on smart money concept. You can watch it entirely, and after that, if you still want more or you want to be part of my team, you can just visit my website, teamprofitsenglish.com, and you'll find out that I'm offering a bundle. Okay, it's a one-time payment, right? And you get access to the entire group. So you will have my course, my mentorship, and my VIP group for life. So it's a signal group for life. Um, One thing I tell you, if you're looking only for signals, please don't get in. All right. If you're only looking for signals, don't get in. This is not for you. If you want to learn, this is for you. Right. If you really want to learn. So if you're new on the channel, please subscribe, give it a big thumbs up. It motivates me to keep to keep posting new videos for you, because I know this actually helps you guys. So just show some love, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy, guys.